Greetings everyone, Zannrath here. It's Tuesday. It's patch day. It's 6.0 patch day. So I think it's a good time for my first WoW video, considering that this is the first time in like a year where there's been new content. So, it's 6.0, and there are plenty of videos out there that will go over all the things that have changed and you know, the guides and stuff like that. So this isn't going to be one of those because, you know, it's already out there. This is just going to be a quick kind of look at Upper Blackrock Spire, revamped for 6.0, and kind of just a little bit of some thoughts on you know, the changes and all that stuff that came out today. So, first of all, I'm a Fairy Warrior. I'm 564, so I am a Flex Hero, so a step up from LFR Hero. So I do outgear this place. I think it's a 510 I don't know, requirement to queue up for it. And right now I don't believe you can just go in with a group and try to zone into the actual instance. I think right now it requires you to be level 100 to do that. But you can still queue up. Being Tuesday, being the first day, you know, I'm not sure if a lot of people are trying to queue into this. If no one wants to queue into it because it's the first day. But the queues are a little wonky. I mean, so I queued up. 20-minute wait. You know, I'm DPS. I understand. You know, I'm used to that. Used to more of an hour-long wait, but you know, whatever. So 20 minutes, and you know, I'm queuing. It's like almost 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, should pop in like, you know, 5-10 minutes, because you know the queue time's always wrong. So I'm just sitting there waiting for it to happen, and then it pauses. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, it's first day out. And then it starts running the queue again. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. And then it pauses. So, yeah, things are kind of wonky right now, but got in. We're killing stuff. Basically, I think even if you were, like, just at the item level to get in, you know, 510, it seems easy enough. You know, these guys are just melting away because I'm, you know, pretty badass and overgear this content, but basically just don't stand in stuff, and it's really kind of that simple. There are a couple things that you can like interrupt. I think there are also some dudes that like drop a banner. You know, you switch to it, you kill it, no big deal. Casters, I think there's still the summoners. I think at least not in every pack. But I think there are the summoners that call for reinforcements, if you remember that from like classic Upper Blackrock and how annoying that was. But yeah, so pretty easy. Things melt away if you're geared enough, but it's still pretty easy, in a sense. And I do like how they kind of well, I mean, it is revamped, so they do hold true kind of to the old instance, and you know, you have to go ahead and clear these runes and stuff like that and whatever. But yeah, basically, you see there's a banner right there. This is a little different. So these are, I guess, these kind of take the place of the summoners. I'm pretty sure there are still summoners in some packs somewhere in here at least. Maybe not, but those mechanic people, I don't know what their name is called, but they run around. If you leave them, they'll like activate a turret and it turns into a mob. And it's like, yeah. So this is a little different. You remember you had to like clear out these little non-elite minion or enemies, these really kind of weak enemies, and then you had to like click on that thing to summon the fire elemental. This time you just gotta go around and click off these discharge things or whatever. This boss is pretty easy. You know, he casts stuff. Tank him, tank and spank, don't stand in the explodey stuff, pretty easy. At some point, you know, he'll get a buff right there where he takes less damage, and you have to go and click on the disruptor thingies again, the conduits, evidently they're called, to deactivate his little shield, which makes him take less damage. So you see the hunter down there doing that to avoid the explodey thing, and you should be good to go. It's pretty easy. Ideally, a range should do that, like that 100 down there, because they can still hit them from below. But yeah, that's basically it. So I think right now it's like individual loot. I see people like looting items off of it, as well as myself. You don't see that because the thing is blocked, but that's a thing. So there's no like, it doesn't go to roll. You just see the item and you go and pick it up. I think that's how it works, at least. Just because, yeah, I was able to pick up loot, other people weren't. There was no roll for it. Anyways, a little bit about the rotation, about Fury. So there's a talent, I think it's the 3rd tier talent, so level 45. I don't remember the rest of the talents, the things you can choose from, but one of them is Unquenchable Thirst, which is, I think, is super OP. I don't know, I mean, you know, maybe it's not OP, but it's super nice. No cooldown Bloodthirst, that's like godsend, because you just spam that and get rage all day. And right now I'm kind of still getting used to it, because, you know, with the ability preening and all that stuff, a lot of so the rage dump is gone, heroic strike is gone, so there's no like off GCD rage dump, so I'm like capping my rage, and I'm just like, oh wait, I can't rage dump without spending a GCD. And because I have Bloodthirst off the cooldown, or no, there's no cooldown to it, I'm just spamming that, and it's like having a good time building up rage, and it's like no one's business, because there's only like, other than like impending victory, which I took of this talent because second wind sucks like horrendously now. You basically just have like Raging Blow and Wild Strikes. I guess Wild Strikes is your rage dump now. So it's pretty fun. I like it. You know, there's less buttons to push in a sense, but I'm still getting used to it just because I can, you know, smash Bloodthirst every GCD now, and it's just like stupid. But anyways, this boss, pretty easy. He has 2 mobs that do like a frontal line thing. Don't stand in the lines. You know, kill them, get them down. Then it's just this boss. He spawns pools. Don't stand in the pools. You know, doesn't give you a buff. I don't think it gives you a buff. So, you know, usually it's good to not stand in things unless you know it's you're supposed to stand in it. Hunter died. I wasn't paying attention to how he died, but you know. So, no more whelps, no more Leroy achievements. Speed of Strength now, I got that, so it's pretty cool. Here's this nice little part where we run up here. There are no mobs up here anymore, and you gotta go clear out the room. New character models look okay. I'm kind of indifferent. I'm really kind of upset about this little janky walk, this gait I have as an orc now. It looks, I mean, it is very reminiscent of like the Pandarian run, but it's too much shoulder, I think. I have like a really, I don't know, I just don't like the gait. The way the bounce is kind of really awkward. But you see this tank is pulling this back, because I think some of these mobs fear, which obviously, if you remember from the original Upper Blackrock Spire, you know, I think that was an issue, so it's always smart to pull this back, because there's this huge ass room of mobs, so, you know, pull them back, don't get feared into it, it's GG. Clean out the trash, it's easy. Nothing really much to worry about. Tank and spank, you know. Don't pull too much. Healing is I don't know, I've been hearing kind of mixed reviews about healing. It's harder, it's easier. Well, not easier, but it's not quite tuned right now. So I've heard some people say that it's kind of okay. But my understanding is it's supposed to be harder. You're supposed to actually think about, you know, your mana usage and your spell usage and stuff like that. I think there are no more instant casts, or very, very few now. So you actually have to sit there and cast a spell, which definitely makes things harder. You know, you're not going to have those quick heals and those instant heals to rely on, or at least less of them. Maybe those are they're only on cooldown or something like that, like the big heals that are instant with a cooldown. So yeah, that's a thing. But I don't know. Maybe this group is this group is probably pretty good. I think if you look at the health over there, the tank is probably a little less a little under geared, not under geared, but less geared than me because I have more health than him. Mage is pretty geared. Hunter is probably right at the item level to get in. The shaman seems to have pretty good gear. So we're a pretty good group. We know what we're doing, so it goes fairly smooth. Until now, this last boss. So spoiler alert. But yeah, so you get here. It's the arena thing. They gotta do their little RP. And before the boss actually starts. I think that's Warlord, what's her name, Zila? Wasn't she the one in Siege of Orgrimmar, like, when you fight Galakras? That's her mount, and you knock her off. I guess this is what she's up to now, like, she fell off, and she's like, I'm gonna hang out in Blackrock Spire now. So, basically, you have this little gauntlet again, gates open, whelps, stuff like that, which I'm not a big fan of this, like, those venomous hatchlings up there, because you have to range them down. So I guess if you queue into it, I think they always will put at least one range, one melee as DPS, so it's not a problem. But it's one of those things where if you don't have range, it probably will be an issue, but that's probably not going to be the case most of the time. So you see that I think there is going to be a point where our healer kind of gets pretty low because of a cast. I'll try to watch for it now. But basically, these are the very similar mobs. A lot of casters, a lot of those guys that spit stuff. So you want to tank it. You want to get aggro because healing is harder now. So gotta watch out for that. Yeah, it looks like So there are summoners. Like I said, there are summoners. But I guess it's now rather than in those rune places in the beginning. So, here we go, doing a lot of damage, pulling a lot of aggro. Oh, you see that beam right there? I think, look at our healer's health at the bottom. He's gonna die right about now. Yeah, disabling ray or whatever, I think that's something you want to interrupt, especially if it's on the healer, since healing is supposed to be harder now. And so he goes down, so we don't have a healer for this, for the boss. And, he's just flying around doing his little RP thing. Very reminiscent of the original. Anyways, so I was saying before, I was pulling a lot of aggro. It's probably because I overgeared the tank. I don't think it's a thing that they did with threat. I think threat is still like pretty easy mode. They've had the change for a long time now. But yeah, our tank is going to go down because there's no healer. He died in that last trash pull in the gauntlet. So our tank is probably going to go down soon. I'm not sure about the debuff that you have to watch out for, but yeah, he goes down. You saw there's that little spinning Ravager thing that you're going to have to watch out for. I start trying to Fury tank. This dragon comes down. I don't know who that is, what the relevance is, but yeah. Right here, I probably should have just started kiting instead of trying to tank it, because I'm a freaking Fury Warrior, not a tank. If I did that, maybe we would have down this. It looks like a, I don't know what, 10% wipe. But yeah, you gotta watch out for those Ravagers. Interrupt this stuff so your healer doesn't get one shot, or, two shot. I don't know how many shots. But yeah, so that's a wipe. This is something I really like, though, right here. When you release, you just res right at the entrance of the instance. I think that's really cool because, well, first of all, I think it's gonna help a lot in the, like, when you're doing like the random groups, when you queue up, just do the, the group finder. Because a lot of times people are gonna be like, oh yeah, I don't know where the instance is because, we got babied and we just teleport to there, to the instance, so we never have to run to the actual instance. So people are like, I don't know where it is, I get lost, and it just wastes a lot of time. It's also just convenient, you don't have to run, you don't have to ghost run back. Saves a lot of time. I really like that. I'm curious if it's gonna work for like, if it's only gonna work in like when you queue up through the looking for group system, or even if you like run in there with a group of your friends, because I know sometimes that, like, maybe like in a raid or something, you'll run in there, you'll wipe or start wiping. People start dying, and then you release, you run back, you get back into the instance, and people are still wiping. The mobs haven't reset, and you just start dying and just chain dying because people just keep coming in, but the mobs don't reset, and like no one's ready, and everyone just keeps dying, and people get mad and rage quit. So I'm wondering if that's the issue. I guess it can be solved that you can't release until everyone's out of combat, which I think, is that how it works in regular raiding? I don't know, but either way, yeah, we wipe again here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it. Yeah, basically what happened was our tank stood in the Ravager a couple times, and that's definitely not good for your health. So he died. Our healer quit. Got a new one, so now we're gonna go ahead and jump back in and finish this guy off. One thing I forgot to mention was that it took so much willpower not to just keep spamming Battle Shout, because before, when it used to give rage, and FYI now it doesn't, it just it gives you an hour-long buff. That's the same, but it doesn't provide any more rage. Therefore, it has no cooldown. So before or between trash packs, I'll just if it's up, I'll shout, get some rage, then go in and do some trash. But clearly, obviously now it doesn't give rage. So there's no point in doing that. So yeah, it just takes it just took a lot of willpower, just because that's like muscle memory. When I see it up, I'll just shout between pulls and stuff. So that's one thing, a little new to the playstyle. I think right about here, our tank's gonna get kind of low in the next couple seconds, I think. Yeah, right about there, and I shout, I rally, keep them up. Probably wouldn't have wiped anyways, but no one died, so it's good. Don't look at my bags, so hideous. But yeah, that's Upper Blackrock Spire, revamped for 6.0. Super fun. I'm sure everyone will have fun with 6.0, so see you guys.